Hi guys, I came across this plugin when I was doing some work for a client, and they had a lot of vertical and horizontal images which they wanted to show in gallery. Now the normal Divi gallery, as well as majority of other galleries, to display vertical images in a gallery, as soon as you add it to the gallery plugin, for instance in Divi, it automatically crops it kind of to the middle of the image. Which is not ideal when you kind of want to get a decent sized thumbnail or decent sized view of what that whole image is about. So I actually came across this really good little plugin called the Divi Masonry Gallery. So I'll put the link in the description below. It's $9, which is well worth the $9. I mean, it's not every day you buy a plugin that cheap. And to the developer, well done. I mean, it's really handy, and it works with Divi. I'm using the latest version of Divi, and it works perfectly well. If I have a look here, so it's September the 15th, and I'm on 3.0.74. Okay, I've loaded the plugin already just to save some time, and it's called the Divi Masonry Gallery. Load it up, activate it. Okay, once you've activated it, I've loaded up some images already to my gallery. Now a lot of these are vertical, and some are horizontal images. Now obviously for Masonry Gallery to work quite nicely, it's always nice to mix them up a bit, so then you don't have all the vertical images next to each other and all the horizontal. So mix them up a bit, and we'll load it like this. So let's just go to our page, our home page here. Just a clean install of WordPress and Divi. Okay, now the thing you need to note about this plugin, which is actually mentioned on here, is that you need to be on the back end of your Divi builder. You can't use it in the visual builder in the front. Okay, and I think it's pretty much all of the third-party plugins that you buy or purchase or download free aren't available for you to use on the front end. Be nice if that was an option, and hopefully Elegant Themes will eventually make that possible for all of the third-party plugins. But anyway, it still works very easily, and it's just easy to use. So I've just created a basic gallery, which this is the basic Divi gallery that you would get. As I say, it crops the image in the center roughly, so you don't get the full image, which is kind of disappointing in a way. But I mean, most gallery plugins work like this, unless you go for something like a Masonry gallery. So the first thing you need to do is create a row, create a section, create a row, and for any of you that don't know how to do that, now you remember this is a standard section. If you click on full width, okay, and try and insert the module, you'll see it doesn't show up. That's because it's the normal standard section module. Okay, and as you click on insert module, there it is. That's the first one that you get. So I'll show you what happens when we just, without making any adjustments to any of the settings that are currently on here, just click on update gallery, and I'm just going to load all of these images in. Just make sure your images are you've taken some time to actually resize the images so that they're not massive, because you obviously want your site not to be slow when you load these up. as you'll see, the first thing it says columns responsivity. We want that checked, so click on yes. Now you can determine how many columns you want. For now I'm going to use 5 columns. I'll explain what the symmetrical columns is once we've had a look at this. Okay, so I'm going to just put a 30 for now. Okay, we want to show the title and caption. Yes. If you don't need that option, you can just switch it off. Okay, and the text color, leave it dark for now. Okay, now the hover over effect, so if we go to, this is their demo page, this hover over background and the color of your icon, that's all controlled by the gallery module settings on Divi, okay, which I'll show you how to do shortly. So if we just use these settings without really diving into the design settings, okay, and just save it. I just want to click on preview, and let's preview what this looks like. Okay, before I do that, I just want to load. Okay, let's just click on preview, and that's what it looks like, which looks pretty ugly and doesn't look like it does much. But that's because we've got to adjust the settings. Okay. Now what you'll notice here, when we chose 5 columns, so if we go in here, we chose 5 columns, not the symmetrical. What it does is it makes sure that there's we switch this off, the captions off, okay, and we preview it again. You will notice that this keeps the, if it's just 5 columns, what it will do is it will keep the aspect ratio, so depending on the size of the images, okay, it will make sure that it fits within the width of your column, your row. Okay, if we change this now, okay, I'm going to show the title. With the title and caption, we want to actually just show it on hover, because then it gives a nice effect, and you can also display whatever you want the caption to be at on the back side of the image. So I'm going to change this now to 5 columns symmetrical, and you'll see what actually happens now. So in preview it. Now you'll notice what's quite nice is it actually keeps the 5 columns, okay, but it fills it in. So if, for instance, you'll have different vertical sizes, it actually drops them and fits them really well. Okay, what you actually want to avoid is having too many vertical images in one row. You want to mix them around a bit. So I'm just going to delete the old gallery one. Okay, so we just go in here, we're going to update it, and I'm just going to move some of them around a bit, just so it gives it a better look to it. Okay. Now obviously, we could move a whole lot of them around, but we want to get this over and done with. So we just click on Update Gallery, preview the change. Okay, so that gives it a lot better sort of view. As I say, you got to spend the time, mix it around, and get it to how you want it. Okay. If we go in here, we can also go into the design section, and we can change what the text, the font will be on the back end. We can also change the alignment, and this alignment is a great new feature was added with the latest Divi. So you can change the size, the text color, etc., etc. Now the text color, unless the text color is also, if you forget to change this, it will always take whatever the module settings were in Divi originally. You can change them up there as well. You know, if you have more than one gallery and you want to keep it consistent throughout the site. Okay. And then what's quite nice as well is to add a little bit of a border to it. Okay. We just click on that. Just makes it look a little bit better if you want that kind of look. The other option you might want to do, because it's kind of a little bit too narrow, you might want to make it kind of full width. You can make adjustments to this, but if you go into the row here, click on design and say make this full width. You can obviously adjust the paddings, etc., you know, on the left and right, but it just gives you a fuller sort of gallery here. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. Thing you got to keep in mind is you're going to work in the back end of it, but in general it works pretty well. Obviously, I said as well, you need to go to the module customizer if you want to change the background of the hover over. So if we go into gallery and I want to change the background to say black, that's what it looked like. You can obviously make it darker or lighter depending on the opacity that you want, and you can change the color of the icon here as well. You can also change the font size of the caption and the title and the color of that in here as well, depending on what you want to do. So yeah, that's the basics of this little module, which plugin works really well, and it's only $9, so it's really cheap. It's not my plugin, it's designed by 4Divi, but I really recommend it. If your client's looking for a specific look and you got vertical and horizontal images, it's just a nice responsive way of showing the images on a page.